Alright, in this grounded video, we are going to be going over the gear you should never craft. This gear just completely sucks in my opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way. You can have your own opinion. This is just a gear I would not recommend you to craft. First up, I would go with the Antlion Greatsword. In my opinion, this item is, first of all, it's a slowed weapon. You can't use a shield for it, which means you're blocking. You can't have a shield and block much. The reason I would not recommend it is because it costs so many pincers, and pincers are quite hard to get with antlions. It's like a rare drop from them. So you need to go out and kill at least 7 antlions just to get this greatsword, and to be honest, the greatsword isn't even that good. It may sound amazing at the time, but like there are so many way better options than this thing. Next up, we have the Mosquito Needle and the Tiger Mosquito Needle. Needle. I wouldn't recommend crafting these either. The damage you get with this weapon, yes, it may have the lifesteal effect on each of these, but the damage you're dealing versus the healing you're getting is just garbage. There are so many better weapons in these Mosquito Needles. You can use a Tick Blade if you want actual healing and damage, which I would recommend you would use instead of these healing weapons. Another thing you should never craft is the Bone Trident. I have never seen anyone ever unintentionally craft this weapon and use it. This weapon is garbage. It's mainly for underwater, but then again, you can just use the Spider Fang Dagger, the Widow Dagger, even the Bone Dagger. Just, you need Spider Chunks, 3 Silk Rope, and Sunken Bones just to deal more damage underwater. I don't know why would you'd be farming Diving Bell Chunks anyway. Why would you be crafting the Bone Trident? There's no real big underwater creature right now. The only threat is really Diving Bell Spider or the Koi, but you can't deal damage to that thing, so Bone Trident, don't craft. This one might be controversial, but I would not recommend crafting the Lava Blade. The Lava Blade is not very good. There is a Lava Blade over on this part of the map, and spawn is right over here, so you don't need to walk that far just to get the rotten Lava Blade. It does have poison on hit, and it's a slashing dagger, but the durability is terrible on this thing, and it's not even a dagger at that. You slash it like an axe or a sword. It's not even a slashing weapon like a dagger. The durability on this is crap. Don't craft. Don't go out of your way and craft this thing. You can just go and hunt for a Spider Fang Dagger if that's what you're after. Another thing I wouldn't even craft is the Fire Ant Club. This thing is hot garbage. It may be a tier 3 club, but there's also so many other alternatives, such as the Club of the Mother Demon, the Mint Mace, the Spicy Cortana is a really good weapon. I would see no one craft this Fire Ant Club. It gives you crit days, which makes enemies attack you slower after you crit, and unless you have a maxed out coup de grace mutation, which only gives you 5% crit chance, you attack so slow with this weapon, you're rarely ever going to get a crit off by using this weapon. So like, the last weapon on the list I would not recommend crafting is the Infected Broma boss item. For how expensive it is to craft, it is terrible. If you're mining for stuff, I wouldn't even use this to mine. It may be good for cutting down grass planks really easy, but is it really worth it going out of the way to fight the Infected Broma, the hardest boss in the game at this point, like what, 10 times if that, maybe more, just to get this weapon? Mind you, a lot of bosses and enemies in this game are resistant to explosive damage, and this weapon just, it doesn't cut it. I also wouldn't recommend crafting Pollen Arrows. These are just, they say they stun flies, but they really don't do much. Lure Arrows basically don't do anything in the entire game, and all these rounds are kind of useless as well, unless you're like in a multiplayer session using an Acorn Turret, which then again, Acorn Turrets are kind of bad, and these are quite expensive to craft as well, considering how little you get. Another set of armor you should never craft is the Infected Broma Armor Set. This thing is terrible for how expensive it is. It just gives you explosive stun, which is like useless, and then explosive a chance to do smaller explosives. Just to craft this armor set is outrageous. The amount of chunks you would need and to farm her. There's so much infected venom that you need to craft. I don't even think killing her once is enough to craft a single piece of her armor. You're gonna have to kill her at least, like I said, 10 times to get the entire armor set, and then again, it's not even worth it. Another armor set I wouldn't recommend you to craft is the Black Ant set. Like the Red Ant set, if you wear it, you're immune to red ants in the nest and all that. This armor set gives you crit after block, which has a 1% chance of proccing after you block an attack, so that's pretty good. Even if you're good at perfect blocking, it's still a 1 in 100 chance. The same chance of getting a trinket, a candy trinket, like that's just insane. And then the set bonuses reflect some damage back to the opponent. You get thorns, and thorns in this game is just terrible, so there's no point even crafting this armor set. It's just a waste of time, to be honest. Another thing I would never craft, the Firefly Headlamp. Why would you go out of your way and make a headlamp? Have like a headlamp on your head to go into caves with just a bit of light. 1, turn up your game gamma if it's too hard to see, or 2, just have a torch in your hand or something. It's not that hard. You're wasting your armor set bonus or more defense just for this light, and the light is pretty bad. Like, it doesn't even go that far. Another armor set I would never craft is the Wasp Armor Armor Set. This armor set, for one, is so annoying to craft because you're gonna need to kill wasps and wasp drones, and those guys heal and deal crap tons of damage and are resistant to everything besides salty. Just for this armor set, and all it gives you is charged shot combo, which is pretty much useless. Bows are pretty bad, and then ranged attacks deal more stun damage to flying creatures. What use is this? You can just parry their attacks. Mosquitoes get stunned after a single parry. This armor set sucks. It's also a light armor piece, which makes your defense stupidly low. This thing sucks. Never craft it. Too expensive and not worth it at all. Another thing you should never craft is the bee armor set. Hear me out. This armor set, you need bee fuzz, silk rope, and berry leather. Pretty expensive parts for the mid game, which is what this armor is dedicated to. It gives you bow stun, and the set bonus is pollen shot, and this sucks. This just slows down enemies. I don't know why you need that for range. You should be far away enough from them anyway. But applying stun to a target, once again, you can block with bows now. It's not that bad. There's no point for having bow stun in the entire game. And then once again, it's a light armor piece. So if enemies come at you, you have low defense. You're gonna get like one shot from anything in the upper yard. Hear me out. The koi armor set is trash. It's not the worst armor in the game. There's definitely worse armor than this. The koi armor sucks. Let's be real. The set bonus does lower your enemy's defense on a perfect block, which is nice. It also extends your perfect block window by like a few milliseconds, which is nothing. You won't be able to even notice a difference. I don't notice a difference in perfect blocking. Also, light armor once again. So unless you're a perfect blocking god, you're pretty much just sacrificing so much defense for perfect blocking. And if you're not good at perfect blocking, don't even make this set at all. To go in the pond and farm for koi skills, it does take like what, maybe half an hour to get this set, and it's not even worth it. I've used it before and I hated it, because I've never crafted this ever. I did it in a challenge run and I'll never use it ever again. And my final armor set for today is the Grub Armor Set. It does give you max stamina, but literally, I would say it gives you maybe 15 extra stamina. It's 5 stamina per armor piece. That's nothing. It also gives you the optimized defense, which pretty much is the Cardio Fan mutation, so this can be completely subbed out by Cardio Fan. There are better tier 1s than this, and to craft this set, you're going to need to get an acorn shovel or a blackhand shovel to start, and you're going to need to farm tons and tons of grubs just to get enough grub hide to make this set. And honestly, it's an easier and way better armor set you can craft, the acorn armor set. Instead of farming acorns to make a shovel, farm acorns to make the acorn armor set. Best armor set for tier 1. That marks the end of today's video of the worst gear and weapons you should never craft in Grounded. If you guys would like me to do a gears and weapons you should craft in Grounded, leave a like, leave it down below, sub, and I'll make that video in the coming days. Other than that, I appreciate for staying this far and watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.